Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. We are now at the 12th day of a 12 days of a West Ham Christmas, so thank you very much for all your support and your time over this last couple of weeks. It's been an absolute great fun to do this content for you and also to discuss everything and review your comments over the last couple of weeks. So let's start off with the goalkeeper for my all-time best 12 West Ham players. Now, I've tried to keep this as close as possible and keep it as real as possible. For me personally, there is only one goalkeeper. Ludok McCluskey came very, very close. Rob Green came very, very close. Even Shaki Hislop came very, very close. There's other ones as well. Obviously, the goalkeeper Carroll from a little while back. But for me, it is Phil Parkes, 100%. The best, most gentlest, biggest and loveliest goalkeeper and man you've ever got to know. He graced us with some very, very great performances over the years. Of course, the FA Cup run in 1979 to 80, where we won the FA Cup final as a prime example of that. Very, very good player. Turning to right back now, this was very, very difficult. It took me a long time to narrow this down. A long, long time. Julian Faubert came very, very close, but Glenn Johnson pipped it for me. An absolutely fantastic prospect from the academy, and he's proved himself when he went on to play for Chelsea and he went on to play for Liverpool as well, and also played at Stoke at one point as well, for that matter. A very, very good player. Biggest amount of respect I've ever got. Even whenever he scored against us, he never celebrated. That's the thing I always loved about him. He's always been very adamant about how things should be going at West Ham. He's always showed his support for the side, even leaving. He absolutely loves the club, and I love him as a result. Absolutely brilliant player. Centre back pairing, almost by default, Bobby Moore and Ginger Pele, aka James Collins. Two players I wish we could have kept, I wish we could have seen, I should say, together, because that would have been absolutely spectacular performances. I dread to think what would have happened if those two were playing at the same time together. I mean, obviously some sort of some crossover in the time-space continuum, but it would have been superb. And likewise with the left back, Julian Dix. No question. I came very close to putting in Frank Lampard Sr. Very, very close. But Dixie, he really pipped it for me. Excellent penalties for us as well. Took absolutely no prisoners. And that for me is my back four of Glenn Johnson, Bobby Moore, James Collins and Julian Dix. Midfield pairing, Martin Allen and Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick. Absolutely brilliant. Some of the best players, and again midfield players I would have loved to have seen. Out on the right, Joe Cole. Now I know I've always said that he should have been more of a midfield player, but I didn't not want to have him alongside those two. Absolutely one of the best midfielders we've ever had, and had such a big career ahead of him, and to a degree reached it, but not with us. But he could have had a lot more. His ability showed he could have had a lot more, especially as a junior. Not saying that he had a flawed career in any shape or form. He's gone on to play for England, made some fantastic appearances for England, some fantastic appearances for Liverpool as well, albeit the short period of time that he was there. He was over in Marseille for a little bit, if I remember correctly, or one of the French leagues, and of course his time over at Chelsea. Now there is an argument that him being out on the right was the thing that killed his career, but as I said, I can't not have him in here. I know that Michael Carrick was more of a central defensive midfielder, but those three alongside the left winger I've put in, Trevor Sinclair, would have been absolutely brilliant. That is a four that would have been absolutely formidable in this day and age. And talking of formidable, let's talk about the front pair up in front. Now, I came very, very close to putting in Paolo Di Canio. Absolute legend for the club in every shape or form. Wasn't there for the huge length of time, but was very, very good nonetheless. Very, very close to putting in Tevez as well, because he was a very good goal scorer for us. Demba Ba was brilliant for the short period of time that we had him. Even Diamante came very close to getting into the starting 11 as well, for that matter. But for me, the default, Frank McAvenny and Tony Cottee. That starting 11 would have been superb. If we could have ever have got the chance to see that in the modern day, we'd be winning everything. I genuinely think we would be winning everything. Now, I've gone, as I say, this is the 12 days, so I've gone for a pre-Premier League format, which is basically one substitution. A lot of players came into mind here. Mark Noble, Scotty Parker, lots of people, even Trevor Brooking for that matter. But my super sub is the one and only, the gentleman of football, as most of these players were, Mr. Billy Bonds. My favourite player is in terms of midfield. But as I say, I did not want to have those four in the modern era, or relatively modern era. 3 of the 4 of the modern era. But Billy Bonds for me, 100%. And of course, that leaves me to talk about the manager, former West Ham player, and also manager held in very, very high regard by pretty much everybody that loves West Ham. The one, the only, Mr. John Lyall. There is no argument other way for me. So that is my all-time 12 players of the West Ham career of all time. And guys, by all means, please let me know your thoughts on that. So thank you very much for your time. By all means, please click the link in the description below to visit the channel sponsor 3retro.com. And because any purchases made through that, the commission that the channel would normally get will be going to charity. So thank you very much for that. And we are now at the end of the 12 days of Christmas. I hope you have all enjoyed this content. It's certainly been a joy for me to research this and make this as well. So normal practice will be coming back as usual. And also very, very soon, I'm hoping to get a guest on for a live conversation about West Ham as well, back on YouTube, because my copyright strike expires in a few days' time. So keep your eyes peeled, but everything else will be coming up as normal. Normal service will now be resumed. Thank you very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.